Hey, it's that time for us to have our first hour conversation. And this one is a trending story because we've been doing this craze everywhere, especially on the LinkedIn platforms. I've seen everyone doing this one. In recent weeks, there's been that playful digital craze that has swept the social media. Users prompting artificial intelligence to transform the photos and personal details into stylized caricatures. What started as a light-hearted entertainment has now quickly caught the scrutiny of cybersecurity experts who warn that the trend may be doing more than just generating amusing images. According to recent analysts, participants often share highly personal information from photographs to hobbies to professional roles in order to draw the most defaulted results. And then data doesn't simply disappear once that has been submitted. So it's too much detail that you're actually sending out there. So specialists are cautioning this. So we'll find out why from Lerato Ntwampe, social media legal consultant and cyber safety enthusiast. Lerato, welcome on the show.
Thank you very much, Benjamin. Thank you for having me.
Come on, we thought this was a fun moment and we could just be a bit of a cartoon character. But there seems to be a lot of caution around this. Okay, how innocent is this action?
It's not really that innocent. It's only innocent if you use generic information. So you don't use your own personal information, and also you don't, upload photographs of yourself. And it also just depends on the kind of relationship you have with your AI tools. So if your AI tools knows the nature of work that you do, it helps you with your daily tasks for work. It kind of has an idea of what you actually get up to on a daily basis. It can sort of pick up certain information and obviously create the character. But if you obviously overshare and it knows that you have 2 children, it knows that you like these certain hobbies, you live you live in New York or you live in Johannesburg, if it knows, that you're married, you like specific things and specific lifestyle because of basically things that you ask it. So maybe you are a fanatic when it comes to exercise. So it will be able to give you that. But we've also have seen some, discrimination elements from it where some people, will use the information that they have. They use the prompt and it will say, well, it's giving, white man energy when the person is actually a black person. So we have seen discrimination and sort of a bias based on, the prompts that people put in. And obviously, depending on how much it knows about you, it will give you a character. And I think that the concern is, if it doesn't give you, that sort of character that you were hoping for, you give it more information. You have to clarify. And by clarifying, you're actually training the model to actually give you even more accurate. And then you end up, oversharing without even realizing it, just because you want it to look as, real life or like you do.
I saw the caricature trend and I was like, oh, this is cute. I'm going to try it. And I asked someone who, really speaks to AI quite a lot. And I said, hey, I see your caricature. They had almost everything about them over there. The fact that they like retreats, it was there. The fact that they like sports and all these different kinds of things. There was even a chicken there. I'm like, why is there a chicken in your caricature? I don't know what's that about. But I didn't know how to use it. So I'm like, okay, let me do this and just send it my information, right? I'm a radio host. I'm a radio broadcaster. I do this, that. I like to garden, etc. But this person tells me that no, I didn't have to do that. All I had to do was please create a caricature of me and my lifestyle and everything that I do, and it just came up with this. And then I realized that this person actually had so much information on their ChatGPT, which was the platform they were using. So what does this mean? We're giving all this information, and the fact that these platforms can actually create these caricatures about our lives without us even giving them details, which means that they already have all the details they need to know about us.
Absolutely. So it's based on, previous prompts that you've had. So you probably have a history, of everything that you've asked ChatGPT to help you with, whether it's to break up with your girlfriend, to write you, a sincere message, or whether, it's to help you with that difficult work email, and obviously when you prompt it, you also give it a little extra information just for it to be a little more accurate, because it has created that culture of now over-reliance on it. So it's based on that. And as I mentioned before, I mean, if you are using it for work or you are using it, for your personal stuff, it does have a sense of, who you are and the things that you like, based on the prompt. So there is that concern because obviously it's collecting information. That information gets stored, it gets analyzed, and it helps to train, the models to actually become a little bit more accurate. And then we are going to unfortunately see, advertising now, and it's going to be targeted, based on what you've told it, based on, what it knows about you. And I think that just the oversharing, it's normalized, oversharing, without even thinking too much of it. It's a character, you want to upload it on social media. And it's something that we have seen in the past. I mean, the 10-year challenge, remember the Face Tune app where it was making you feel old. These are all challenges to help these tech companies, refine their products. It's also to help them sort of gauge, where people are, to get information. And essentially, it has just normalized that culture of just oversharing without even thinking about it. You just want the prompt so that you can also be part of, this mega viral moment. And I think that's what people are failing to understand, that you're actually giving it personal information. And it's even more now because it's not like, I think a lot of people did sort of change after Facebook days where they weren't giving Facebook as much information as they were before. Yeah. So in challenges like this, it sort of blindsides you because you obviously wanted to represent, your real life. You wanted to look as accurate as possible, which means that you're going to share and say, actually, no, I'm a lawyer who specializes in digital law. I'm actually based in Johannesburg, not New York. I actually deal more with civil cases instead of criminal. So it's giving it even extra little information that normally, Facebook or any social media platform would ask you. So it's even more detailed because, ChatGPT or any AI tool you can use any time of the day, whether in a vulnerable, situation or you wanted some advice without feeling any judgment. And it's there for you. The more it's there for you, the more it's going to require more information for it to be actually accurate in actually giving you the specific prompts that you ask for.
Lerato, you say so many interesting things. I just want to add a layer to it around the security elements of it, because we use our faces not just for our own identity to recognize one another, but I know that I use my face for access to my phone. Some people use it to actually access their banking apps, even, sites that really require strong sense of protection, right? So if we are giving away all our faces on these different applications, what does that also mean for our own security, right? We'll speak a little bit about that after the break. Stay with us there, Lerato. Hey, we're speaking about us turning our faces into caricatures via ChatGPT. You see, I don't even use these things. I'm so terrible at even their names. But yeah, we use all these mobile platforms that are artificial intelligence focused, and we give away ourselves so easily and flippantly. Is that good for us? We'll continue with this conversation after the break.
Channel Africa is evolving, and so are you. Stay connected wherever you are with our brand new website and mobile app. Stream your favorite shows, catch up on African news, culture, and conversations, all at your fingertips.
Africa is just a tap away.
Your world, your stories, now on the go.
Stay connected wherever you are.
Visit channelafrica.co.za or download the Channel Africa app today. Channel Africa, the African perspective. 9 to 12 midday, Central African Time. On the Move with Palisa Tau and Benjamin Mushatama.
It's all fun and games, isn't it? Going to these AI bots and asking them to make these incredible caricatures of us. They're funny, they're silly, they're playful, but they also are reverting our information into these caricatures. What does this mean in terms of our cybersecurity? Lerato Ntwampo continues this conversation with us. She's a social media legal consultant and cyber safety enthusiast. Well, let's speak a little bit about, how we can actually keep ourselves safe, even when we're trying to, be a part of something. Because, humans, we're social beings. If we see everyone having cute caricatures, we want ones of ourselves too. It's so fun and playful. How do we keep ourselves safe?
I think it's important, less is more. So if you, have a history of, always just asking ChatGPT or any AI tool for information, I think the first thing to do is to obviously delete that data. It probably does exist, but just delete it so that you have a fresh start. You can also, email OpenAI and actually ask them to remove all that data. And then going forward, less is more. When you are obviously prompting, giving a prompt, don't give information that is personal or confidential in nature. So keep it generic. And I'd also even say that, don't let AI do everything for you. Let AI help you refine, help you polish content that you've already created. So it could, be pictures, or it could be an essay or an email or a letter. Let it help you sort of, refine it, but without having or including any personal information on it. Do not upload any, actual photos because, as Benjamin mentioned earlier, there's no anonymity that is actually guaranteed. If you've participated in this challenge, it probably knows now, your features, what they look like. It knows, the skin color, your skin tone, even maybe a culture, where you're based in the world. And these biometric data, such as facially geometric and physical threats, they create a unique face print, that cannot be changed and could, contribute to identification access to specific platforms. And this could potentially lead to identity fraud issues in the future if this information, gets, copied, reposted, scrapped, or even leaked. The chances of, identity fraud are sort of then increased. So you just need to ensure that, you also just read the privacy policy. What does the privacy policy say? Where are they keeping this information? How long are they keeping this information for? What is this information going to be used for? But because if you actually look according to the OpenAI's privacy policy, content that is submitted is actually used to provide and maintain services. It's also used to improve and develop products and to conduct research.
Right.
And it also allows for broad sharing with any affiliates, companies, or service providers.
That's
So that
crazy.
already tells you that you're going to get targeted marketing. They're going to use your information to make the AI models better. Depending on how you see it, it might be a good thing, or it might be a bad thing. But the fact that it's going to be targeted specifically of the things that you've told it. So these are the things that you just have to consider of how much information am I actually using? How long are they going to retain this information? What if it gets leaked? What if it gets reposted or then used for what it was not intended to, like somebody trying to map up your face based on the character to try and hack into your banking accounts or hack into your personal details, where your medical information might be there. So it's something that you absolutely need to consider when you are participating in these challenges.
Yeah, you spoke about something very interesting there, alluding to the future, Lerato, because we think the future of things is going to stay the same, but more and more I think features like our faces will become very mainstream for security protocol. And that's something that we take for granted, that, all these things that we're doing have actually an implication for future practice. And it's not just a game that's been played here. It's actually an experiment of exercise that could become mainstream in the future. So because we don't know the future of things, that's why we should even be more careful.
Absolutely. And in the future of, digital ID, there's a conversation about having digital IDs. Now, imagine having a digital ID exists on the internet, and you have all these other platforms who actually have access to other information that they can sort of leak. So identity theft there is rife. So I think in Africa, we might actually be at a better standpoint, because these are things that we're sort of delaying, and we're because there's no legal reform, especially in terms of the digital space. We might actually get lessons from other countries and how these digital IDs work in the future, and how this personal information that exists about us in these tech companies' servers is going to continue to work.
All right. So what? We just completely avoid the fun?
That's not fun.
You can absolutely participate, but be as vague as possible. Like I said, rather create a new account and just give it as less information as possible, so that it doesn't use things that you've used historically. So you can create a new account, add less is more. It's just a Black girl in South Africa, Johannesburg, lawyer, social media, and then let it create something.
Okay.
If it's not accurate, don't now go into the details that, actually also have 2 kids, a husband who's an accountant, don't refine so that it actually gets more information from you. So it is possible to join into the fun, but you don't have to use your existing account to create that, because essentially when you say, create something based on everything about me. If, and you probably had a perceived idea that, actually this thing knows me, you're going to want to correct it. So I think that is the danger when you want to correct it, and then you you basically actively then feed it more detailed personal information to generate models that will improve the output. So less is more.
All right. We are going to try to do less because, when people get more accurate depictions, that's what we want for ourselves as well. But obviously, if people start getting hacked and all sorts of things happening, we don't want that to happen to us as well. So thank you so much, Lerato. It's always a pleasure to speak to you. And we'll be looking out. I don't know, have you had a caricature? I just made one of Ben and I here in studio, from an existing picture.
I'm so glad of the results of that, because it doesn't look like me. So
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not sure about that.
Yeah.
You should go to our social media, Lerato, and check if this looks like us, because it's from a realistic picture that we've took together. Thank you so much for your time. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you very much.
That's Lerato Ntwampe, helping us understand that we shouldn't be jumping on every AI trend. And even if you want to, there are ways that you can be more careful with your personal information, because we don't know what it's going to be used for in the future. Lerato Ntwampe is a social media legal consultant and cyber safety enthusiast. Let's move on and get our latest sports news.
The sound